Hi guys, this is Diana Pinto with Learning Matters. I just want to welcome you in this afternoon. We've had a little bit of technology issues. We were scheduled to go live at 2:30, and unfortunately my phone decided to play games with me, but I managed to overcome. So here we are. So let me know that you're here. Welcome to my first Facebook Live. Hope that you can join me this afternoon. We have an incredible guest coming on this afternoon to tell us about how we can use books as parents to really teach our kids, to empower our kids and to teach them that they have the ability to bring about the change they want to see in the world. So I am so incredibly excited that you have no idea. Wait until you meet her. So my name is Diana. Hi, Emily. So if you're watching, just say hi. I'd love to welcome you in. So my name is Diana Pinto. I am the head coach at Learning Matters here in Miami. And my purpose, my vision is really to empower kids. I have a common purpose with many educators, and that really is to educate and empower, and I want to promote self-expression. So that is what I live for. I do it by teaching social skills as well as study skills. So I'm super excited to be here today, and I want to welcome you to the power of action. So we are in today for a very important conversation that has been happening for the last week. It started on Monday. And so I want to back up and tell you a little bit about why I decided to do this today. So 2 months ago, I took a pledge. For this to support the Sandy Hook Promise organization and their initiative called Start with Hello. Start with Hello is an incredible campaign. And hi, Sierra. Welcome. So Start with Hello is an incredible campaign, and it was designed really to teach students the skills that they need to not only learn how to reach out for help when they need it, but also to help bring in those who may be experiencing social isolation. Okay, and so I am all for inclusion. I want to continue to bring awareness to this issue of social inclusion and connection within our school system. And so today marks the last day of the Start with Hello week. And pretty cool, today being Friday, they have the day called No One Sits Alone. And so no one sits alone in this either. And so I'm here with friends. We are together. We are talking about this issue, bringing community together, spreading kindness, and really helping our kids understand that they have the power to really bring about the change that they want to see in the world, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about the Sandy Hook Promise if you are not familiar with it. The Sandy Hook Promise, it's a national nonprofit organization, and it's based in Newport, Connecticut. It's led by family members of those whose loved ones were killed in the tragic mass shooting that happened at the Sandy Hook Elementary in 2012. So I love the fact that they are working together to bring awareness. You know, a tragic incident like this could have taken any parent out and really leave them completely hopeless. But thankfully, these parents have joined forces and they want to do something so important, and that is to educate, to empower, and to bring awareness to this topic of social isolation. And so they're really the main core of the organization is to talk about prevention and see how we can help our community and our kids before anything bad happens. So it's all about what is happening before prevention. So I'm all about prevention, mental health awareness, being able to identify what is happening in our schools, in our community, and being able to prevent really tragic events like that from happening. Sadly, for me as a person and as an educator, I really feel that we are having one of these incidents every other week. You know, I hear about a gun violence or just violence or a shooting in schools. And so it's really sad for me to know that is happening. And so I want to be part of the conversation. I took the pledge. I want to be part of this movement, and I want you to join me in this movement. So the more we talk about it, the more we share, the more we really become advocate for kindness and advocate for inclusiveness, the better we are. So why does it matter? What we hear the term social isolation, and so what is it? So I have a few questions for you. So since I'm a teacher, I love to pose questions. And one of them is, what is social isolation? Do you know what it means? Do you know how it happens? Do you know where it happens? Where can you find it? And most importantly, how do you think it feels to be socially isolated? How do you think it feels? And as someone who's had a personal experience with social isolation, I know that it has detrimental effects. Okay, if you were following me, the last video that I made was a very short video on Instagram about the growing epidemic of social isolation and wanting to bring some awareness to it. And so it's really a growing epidemic in the United States, particularly in our schools. Children who experience excessive feelings of social isolation can become, and I say can become because a lot of children, thankfully, are very resilient and they're able to bounce back, or they have the emotional intelligence to really manage these really crazy circumstances, right? Bad circumstances, negative events, if you will. And so, but those who cannot can really become victims of violence. They can become victims of anxiety. They can become victims of depression. And sadly, they can become victims of suicide. So it's really important for us to take note of what's going on around us. I know that, I work with kids mostly every day, and I know that in every school there's social isolation. There are young people out there who are feeling disconnected, who are feeling lonely, who are feeling isolated, and those feelings are terrible, terrible feelings to experience, and I don't wish it on anyone, less alone a child. The statistics are staggering, and we know for sure that those who experience social isolation are actually reducing their ability to live longer. So they're dying sooner than those of us who are experiencing connection and are feeling included in our society. And so why do I talk about emotions? Why do I talk about social isolation? Why are we even discussing this? Because I do believe that there's a bridge, and that's what we're going to get to the heart of today, is that we can prevent it. And how do we prevent it? So in schools, emotions matter. Okay, not only do children with anxiety have difficulty just functioning as learners, focusing, learning, but they can become victims and or perpetrators of bullying. And I know that bullying is a term that you are probably familiar with, and it's something that's really sad, right? We've experienced it, but I want to bring caution because I do not want to talk about the bully as being bad. We know that bullying is deeply rooted in the lack of emotional intelligence skills, okay? So both the victim and the perpetrator are deeply hurt, and it's important for us as a community to really look at both together. And so I think that the bridge is that it's teaching our kids about emotional intelligence. How do we do that? Schools should be teaching it, part of the social skills curriculum, teaching them soft skills, teaching them about emotional intelligence. What does it look like, and how do they execute it in their daily lives, right? And so how do we prevent bullying with emotional intelligence? I think that we have to really teach our kids that they have the power. They have the power of action through reading. Emotional intelligence is like a big name, and people are thinking, well, I know about IQ, but I don't know about EQ. And so part of emotional intelligence is understanding that we have the ability to manage ourselves, right? And so that is, and manage the world and self-regulate. And so that's one of the things that are very simple to teach, but it's more difficult for younger kids. And so I believe that reading is just absolutely the most important and the most amazing tool that we have as educators, as parents, to really bring the message home and begin to open these conversations with our children. And so you may ask, how do I know if my child is emotionally intelligent, right? You may ask that question. And so here's how you know. They know, they are able to learn and recognize a range of emotions. They know the difference between sad and happy and angry and fearful. So they are able to recognize those emotions. They understand the cause of their emotion, right? It's not just okay to say, well, I'm angry. Why? Maybe I'm angry because I didn't make the cheerleading team, or I'm angry because I didn't perform, or I am happy because today I got to meet a new friend and I had lunch. So it's able to know the cause of the emotions that they're experiencing. Labeling emotions, right? Recognizing, labeling, knowing that every emotion has a label. Expressing emotions in an appropriate way, that are in a socially appropriate way. So we can have a child, if they're experiencing anger, how do we teach them that they can't just go out there and start punching people, right? They just can't do that. But they can use a pillow to express their anger. They can draw. They can break tiles. There's just so many amazing activities available to us to really help our kids regulate their emotions and their feelings and be able to become emotionally intelligent people, right? And so the other thing that you should be looking for is, are they able to form stable and supportive relationships, right? Part of being an individual with emotional intelligence is having that supportive and stable relationships in our lives. So you're looking for all of these signs. You're really wanting to figure out, because I really don't believe that we should be labeling our kids, well, this kid is an introvert and they just don't like engaging with others. That may be the case, but the earlier we look at the warning signs, the better we can intervene. And that is our responsibility as educators, as parents. We need to have an eye. We need to be able to look out for them. We are their advocates, and we should be paying attention. So I believe that emotional intelligence really protects our kids from experiencing a lot of mental health disorders like depression and anxiety, okay? And these mental health issues can lead to tragic events like violence and suicide. And so it's really important for us to take a look at that and really have this conversation. But emotional intelligence also equips kids to not only face bullying, if that's what's happening, but also manage their fears, manage their own fears, and be able to have the courage to reach out to others and ask for help, right? We want to know that our kids are safe, that they know how to regulate themselves, but they also know how to ask for help when things are just beyond their control. And so how do we make this bridge? We were talking about a bridge. How do we connect this bridge between social isolation, right? And bullying and teaching our kids? How does that happen? For me, I think I love books. I think books are an incredible way of driving the messages home. It's allows us to play different roles, or role play, right? Allows us to role play, allows us to explain, allows our kids to really be inquisitive and ask questions about the content. And so we really have a lot of power in what we present to our kids early on and how that will affect their development. So without further ado, I want to invite our amazing Emily Bank. She's going to tell us about the power of books and how books can just be an incredible catalyst for change. I truly believe that. And so please help me welcome Emily. Emily is the founder of Emily's Read VIP group, Read With Me VIP group. She is a mom extraordinaire. She is an educator. She is an entrepreneur. She is an incredible human being who just bursts out in kindness. And so I want to go ahead and invite her to our live experience so that she can share with you some of the tools that she recommends and some of the tools that she has for us as parents. All right, Emily. Hey, Emily. I'm trying to join her again. Technology. Let's see if we can bring Emily here with us. Let's see what's happening. All right, guys, bear with me. This is our first Facebook Live. And so let's see if we can get Emily added here to the event. Let's see. Okay. Let me just send her a quick message. Let's see, because I do not see the add button. This would happen, right? It's such an important conversation. The enemy just does not want us to have it. Well, guess what? We're having it. Nothing wants to work, right? I know. So we're going to make it happen. Let's see. It's not, of course, it's not. She's having a little bit of trouble. She has an amazing book that she wants to share with us for younger children, and how that can start a conversation for different things. I cannot seem to be able to add her. Let's see what exactly is happening here. Let's see what's going on. Of course, this would happen, right? Of course, we're talking about emotional intelligence. This is a time for me to self-regulate, right? Like, this is happening. I'm feeling frustrated. She doesn't see the app button, and I don't see it either. And mind you, we have been planning this for like days. Let's see. All right, guys, so I don't think that I'm able to bring Emily on. I have here the, yeah, we're not able to, we're having some technical difficulties, and we're not able to add her. But what the message was really amazing, because she has a book that is absolutely amazing, and it's called Be the Change, Make It Happen. She is a representative for Usborne. It's a publishing company, and they have incredible books that allow parents to really have these really important conversations with their kids. And so the book really is all about knowing that anyone can help make a difference, right? It promotes important causes. It allows kids to understand that they have a voice and they can be heard, right? And so it's really playful. They're just Superman and just a lot of characters that are really fun, and really will allow you to have that conversation with your child. So I would say, if you haven't done so, I would urge you right now to go to Emily's Read With Me VIP group. It's a closed group, but you can ask to join. Her name is Emily Bank. And so I know that she will have a ton of amazing resources for you as a parent. She also hosts these most amazing online parties where she'll have Emily put the link on the bottom so that they can actually go and link and see. But she throws these online parties for the books, and she has a feature Friday. So today she would have a feature Friday for a book on a specific topic. And so that's what I love. I love that every single book is intentional and meant to drive to a deeper conversation. So that's really what we want. So my goal today was really to bring about this conversation where we can start expanding, the conversation about emotional intelligence, that we become more attuned to what's happening in our schools and with our children. It's not okay for us to turn the blind eye. We have to be active in our pursuit for kindness, in our pursuit for inclusiveness, right? And we have to help our children connect, okay? And I don't mean connect with an iPod or iPad or an iPhone. I said iPod. Yes, I'm that age. So that's what's important. That's what this conversation is about. Today marks the end of Start With Hello. But it doesn't have to end here. The conversation can continue. And so I will urge you to continue this conversation, continue to make comments, share this video, and really let's get this movement going. And so really what the last point that I wanted to make for you today is that young people are a reflection of adults, okay? And so things do not happen in a vacuum. Young people aren't the only ones suffering from social isolation or dealing with this problem. Adults do too. Okay, so it's important that you look within yourself. Okay, to see how you're modeling behavior for your child. So model appropriate behavior. Okay, keep an eye on your child's social interaction. It's important. It's important that you keep an eye. And in the buddies, in the kids that come around in school, what's happening, right? When a child comes home and they're like, how was your day? Okay. All right. We need to pay attention to that. That's a clear sign. Those are things that we need to explore a little more. Keep the conversations open and active within the family. Keep it open. Do not be afraid to talk about feelings. Do not be afraid to just expand on this. Talk about social isolation. Talk about the good, the bad, the awesome, and the ugly. All of it should be part of your breakfast table, and your dinner table. So. And lastly, support and validate your child. Know that their feelings are their own. And so part of the journey is for them to learn how to manage their emotions. And your job is to help them and guide them through that process and just validate, okay, what they're feeling. So with that in mind, I hope that you will continue to support the Sandy Hook Promise, that you will continue to support Start with Hello Week. The week is ending, but it doesn't have to. You can continue. If you have any questions for me, you can follow me on Facebook, facebook.com/Learning Matters Florida. My email is Diana, Diana, @learningmattersflorida.com. If you have any questions, you can always email me. And if you have any questions for Emily, feel free to join her book club. If not, send me an email, write me a message on the page, and I will connect you with her. She's amazing. You will absolutely love what she has to offer. And so with this in mind, just remember, guys, that kindness is a gift. All right, so be a gift for someone today. Be a gift for someone today. Love you, and until we see each other again. Bye.